Hello there, my name is Richard. The first time seeing my channel, you should review cartoon series, anime series, or something completely random. And today we're talking about the first impression of a new show called The Ghost and Money McGee. And we'll talk about the first two episodes, or the one first episode, because the first episode is a two-parter. That's basically the first part is the closer, second episode called The First Days of Fear, if I read that right. Anyway, my impression of the first two episodes was okay. I mean, the beginning I was not sure if I like it or not because this idea is basically it's a girl called McGee and a ghost called Scratch who is sort of tired and kind of grouchy. In fact, the whole story kind of points out Scratch. He's sort of a loser. He's a ghost that has a job to scare people, make sure everybody just completely frightened. But the only problem is when he goes back to his own dimension now, where it's his own ghost crew, then the council who judges them says, yeah, we don't like you. You feel sort of pathetic, a loser. Don't get close to us. But at the same time, you kind of feel bad for Scratch. He just sort of wants to be accepted, want to be in the club. He's sort of the outsider. And that's why I think he may be sort of scratchy all the time. He's sort of sad, bitter, just sort of a poison type of character that he poisons other people because he's just so bitter. And one day, this new people lived in his new house, and it would be the little girl who visits the top of the house and meets Scratch. And you think, oh, it's time to work. Time to scare this kid. This is my thing. He attempted to scare us, but at the same time, he wasn't expecting McGee to love it. That you think, oh, she into horror. No, she just thinks she's neat. And also, kind of get a little bit more interesting is McGee is one of those girls her family moves place to place, so he never able to actually have a good friendship with a friend. And she's sort of kind of needy type of character that always try to be positive, always try to be peppy. You think it to be annoying, but at the same time, I can see what you do with this character. The fact the first two episodes, you can see she's trying to be peppy, but broken back to peppy. But once more, she has a new friend, or at least attempt to have a new friend. And you think, okay, this is a weird girl, I'm gonna scare her a little bit more, I gotta try something different. And Scratch did that he attempted to scare her, but cursing her just to be, you will never leave me alone, I will hunt you the rest of your life, I will be detached to you for when you die. And you think, oh, this is it, this is the point, this is, she's gotta be freaking out, breaking down. No, McGee kind of reads it, or at least interprets it in her whole kind of mental state that, so you are my best friend for life. With fishy, with contract, you can't run away. And Scratch like, yeah, you can interpret that, but at the same time, I'm a ghost, an awesome ghost, and I kind of love that sort of positivity with a negative positivity because you can see how they sort of clashes together. You can see how Scratch dislike that so much, but at the same time, you kind of see Scratch needs like McGee type of person, and you also see how McGee needs a Scratch type of person because she's so high of a whole peppiness. You need someone to kind of reel her back in, and the same thing to a Scratch that he's so depressing, so lonely. You can see someone like McGee pushing him up because once more they need each other, and that is sort of interesting. But I think the only problem is when the first episode dropped and that happened when Scratch cursed her. That I was sort of interested, but the only problem is the first episode really just introduces the characters, introduces McGee and her family, and how they sort of accept Scratch, and McGee tried to explain everything, but how Scratch is kind of freaking out, like, I can break this, I can run away, yeah, I don't have to do anything. But he realized he made a contract and he has sort of screwed himself over. And now he's sort of stuck with them, and the family now accepts him as a part of the family. He's just like sort of panicking, but once more, Scratch sort of needs this. He doesn't actually admits it, like he actually likes a family, or this actually has potential to make him happy. He just sort of ignores it. He's like, all right, cool, chill. But a little bit more at the end of the episode, leave us sort of a cliffhanger. One of those things that what McGee, not McGee, Scratch tries to do is his job. He has a sort of time limiter to scare people. We have to make sure everybody is scared, not positive. The thing is, if the machine says you're not doing your job, it's completely positive, you basically get fired, or in this case, trapped in the human soul society, be tortured and miserable the rest of their life. I mean, that sounds very important. I'd be panicking, but once more, Scratch really doesn't care. I mean, he does care. He knows that's the thing. But once more, he's one of those losers that he is capable of doing his job. But one of those things like, should I care? Should I not care? He's more focused on how can I destroy this contract and get be happy by myself once more. And that is interesting. The only problem is the first episode. It feels sort of short. I mean, it's a 10-minute episode. Yet feel this would probably be more interesting. It was a two-parter. You just feel sort of kind of begins and ends. In other words, I mean, the first episode is just set up, but I wanted a little bit more of the first episode. I wanted like a two-part, something to feel, understand the whole family and Scratch. I mean, you do these McGee and Scratch, or rest of the family, you kind of understand who they are, but it's once more, it just feels sort of, I don't know, unsatisfying. I mean, the characters are great, but I wanted more. But once more, that's kind of good if you are enjoying what you served the first episode. The second episode, it's sort of the one I kind of wanted a little bit more like the first one. This one focuses on more McGee going her first day of school, and she's sort of panicking. She doesn't want to do, and you think, oh, this is the interesting part that Scratch sees this. He was taking advantage of this. This is the point. If I scare her and make mentally break her happiness, I can get away with it. I can be free with this contract. And because McGee is a special girl, that she is super hyper, super positive. When she's down, she picks herself up. It's like a kind of superpower. Like, actually, the exact words she said it is kind of like a superpower for her because she can basically pump herself out, cheer herself again to 100% happiness. And that could be annoying, but once more, I think this is the reason why you have Scratch. Scratch sort of bans her out every time she does that. You see, really, girl? Are you that positive? I mean, you better be kidding me, right? But I love it that Scratch has a plan. Okay, she's the first day of school. I can break it down. She's a little girl. She have kind of easily to manipulate her to break it down in the first day. She is needy. And the fact that's how the episode go, that she kind of introduced herself, but you met like a new character that right now I don't remember her name, but she's basically a YouTuber star in the school. She's the hip girl, the girl who says things is good or bad, just listen to me because I'm famous. And that's what type of girl she is. But I love it that McGee sort of accidentally couldn't not say her name correctly, and she got automatically banned because of that. She's now the outsider. She's not allowed to have friends. And McGee doesn't want to do, and Scratch like, oh, this is simple. I have everything done. I don't have to worry about anything. And once more, McGee quickly twisted around to make herself positive. That meant this is a challenge. I can make friends. And then Scratch freaks out because he just tired of her possibilities and tempted to scare her once again. But unfortunately, the YouTuber girl reappears out of nowhere and sees Scratch fear mode. That basically the popular girl just passes out because she wasn't scared. I mean, she wasn't expecting Scratch to scare her, so she just passed out. She's completely unconscious, but McGee is there all alone and explain people, oh, I didn't do anything. She just fall down. I mean, that kind of fear if you're a teenager, you don't know what to do with this situation. Usually, common sense, you go to the nurse. That's what she attempted to do. But once more, she's a teenager. She doesn't have common sense. She went the wrong direction. And everybody saw her knocking down the popular girl. And now this is the point she will cry in panic and everybody officially kicks her out. But this is the kicker. I love how Scratch kind of gave up that point that I need to help this girl because he sort of understood that feeling of loneliness. This shows that Scratch does have a heart. He does care about this girl, and he decided to possess the popular girl to basically save McGee, basically herself, not being kicked out. And in the end, he just likes the girl. I mean, that's what I loved about this show. It's kind of make you think about how the situations, how the Scratch and McGee goes. Like later on, I'm 100% sure this will be more sharper. But I love this second episode. This episode was great, interesting. I mean, I don't think the first episode was that great, but the second delivered for me. So I hope it'll be more like sort of been like this, sort of interesting and different ways to make the kind of relationship more appealing. And on top of that, you still have that timer and that is shown what will happen to Scratch, or the reason why Scratch needs to be scaring other human beings. That might yet be an answer. I mean, those kind of things make the show kind of interesting. Of course, it started a little bumpy, but I really kind of enjoyed this. Hopefully, they're running a bit more sharper. But I don't know. How do you enjoy this series? Do you like it? Do you hate the first episode? Impress you or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. I really got nothing else to say. Just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.